Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait until you see.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley and wanted to talk a little bit about Walter Nolen. A lot of you guys have been asking questions about him, so I figured I would do a quick little video, give you guys an update. If you're asking who is Walter Nolen, well, I don't know if you are living under a rock. ESPN #1 ranked player in the country, directly out of the state of Tennessee. 6'4", 325-pound defensive lineman. His recruitment has been a bit of a roller coaster ride, and that's probably an understatement. But going all the way back to his commitment to Texas A&M. Back in November. Just been up and down all over the place, and now a lot of you guys are saying, Boogie, what's going to happen as Texas A&M's defensive coordinator just took the head coaching job at Duke? Is Tennessee going to be in play? We'll get into it. We'll discuss it. As always, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up just below the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, you're asking yourself, what is this channel? We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are fans just like you. So if you enjoyed the content, go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop new content. Let's take a look at this article from A to Z Sports Nashville. It says recruiting analyst says Tennessee Vols are closing the gap with 5-star defensive lineman Walter Nolen, written by Zach Reagan. It says here Tennessee Vols' biggest remaining 2022 recruiting target is easily 5-star defensive lineman Walter Nolen. 6'5", 300-pound is... What? That doesn't make sense. Come on, 6'5", 300-pounder is rated in 24/7 Sports Composite as the #1 player in Tennessee and the number 2 overall player in the 2022 recruiting class. Again, ESPN has him as the #1 ranked player. Says here the talented recruit who played in the shadows of Neyland Stadium this past season at Powell High School committed to Texas A&M in early November. Nolen has remained solid to the Aggies, but the Vols haven't stopped their pursuit. Walter Nolen actually just helped Powell about a week ago win their first ever TSSAA Class 5A football state championship. Finished off the season 91 tackles, 30 of those were for loss, and 17 sacks on the year. That's the thing. Tennessee has been heavily in this from Jump Street. Walter Nolen been on campus a lot. Actually, after winning the state championship, he showed up at Tennessee the next day for a visit. And, you know, he has had constant communication with these coaches. That's something I saw in an article I read, was that, you know, he's seen the campus, he's seen the facilities, he knows everything there is to know about the school. He just wanted to continue that dialogue with Tennessee. Now, the concerning part is, even though, yes, Texas A&M is looking for a defensive coordinator, that doesn't concern me as much if they were looking for a new defensive line coach. So we'll see how that impacts his decision. But, you know, the concerning part for me is that he's finishing off this recruitment. We're on that road to the early signing period. Early signing day is next Wednesday. And the dead period starts, I believe it's after this weekend. So this is the last chance. Texas A&M is going to have that final communication with Walter Nolen. And I know never say never when it comes to Rodney Garner. How many guys has Rodney Garner pulled at the last hour? So never say never there. And I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if this recruitment goes beyond the early signing period. I think it wouldn't surprise me at all if it goes all the way into February before Walter Nolen puts pen to paper. He seems like a guy And again, the ESPN #1 player in the class of 22, he seems like a guy that is enjoying the recruiting process, and there's nothing wrong with that. He deserves to have his time as the #1 recruit in the country. Says here in the article, earlier this week, Nolen told WATE that he's possibly open to going to Tennessee. Not much said here, but I'll play it. You guys can give it a listen.
It went good. It went good. I got a chance to talk to the coaches one more time. It went good. They kept it cool. I mean, they weren't pressing me about nothing, so it was cool.
Are you still open to possibly going to Tennessee?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Are you still open to playing for the University of Tennessee? Possibly. Seems like a man of few words. Rivals national recruiting analyst Adam Friedman listed Nolen this week as a recruit who could possibly flip during the early signing period. Here's the quote from Friedman. Says Nolen's recruitment has been a roller coaster, and his abrupt commitment to Texas A&M in early November caught some by surprise, even though the Aggies had been the rumored leader. Says Tennessee has ground to make up, but the VAWLS are closing the gap. The article goes on to say, I'd be surprised if the VAWLS landed Nolen during the early signing period, but like Friedman mentioned, this recruiting battle has been a roller coaster. Anything is possible when it comes to Nolen. In fact, I don't necessarily think this battle will be over when he signs next week. We've seen players get released from their national letter of intent shortly after signing. It wouldn't shock me if something similar ends up happening with Nolen at some point. I don't see that. I don't see him signing the dotted line and trying to get out of that. I see him prolonging it and holding it off until February. It says here, landing Nolen would obviously be massive for the Volunteers, but it's not the end of the world if they don't get him. Josh Heupel and his staff are doing a nice job of putting the finishing touches on UT's 2022 class. Nolen would be nice, but the VAWLS have a good shot at landing a top 10 to 15 class even without him. That's the thing for me. I've kind of said it the last couple of weeks. Walter Nolen is the icing on the cake. Josh Heupel's done a great job based on the circumstances with this class of 22. Yes, I understand finishing in the middle of the pack in the SEC is not good enough. It's not acceptable. Based on the circumstances for this season, it is acceptable. It's going to be interesting to see how they finish this off. Again, I call Walter Nolen the icing on the cake, but they need to add some guys on that defensive line. A couple of those could be Jared Verse, the Albany transfer, has his name in the portal. He was supposed to visit FSU on Thursday and Friday and supposed to be in Knoxville today and tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there. A lot of FSU fans dropping into the comment sections of our videos saying that he is a Seminole, but we'll see how that plays out. Another name, Tyree West, also supposed to be on campus this weekend. Seems to be a lot of buzz that the JUCO transfer, Jeffrey Mba, is no longer interested. But, you know, when you go back and you look and you talk about the class of 22 and the fact that Tennessee told Vincent Sneed to move on, that they basically told him to look elsewhere. When you do that to a guy that's currently committed to your school, you must have some type of confidence there, whether that be Tyree West, whether that be Jared Verse, Jeffrey Mba, or whether that be Walter Nolen. This coaching staff is playing the numbers game right now. They're trying to crunch numbers, fill needs. It goes back to the offensive lineman from Florida. He's posting on Twitter that he's committed. The staff has not even offered him yet because they are playing a numbers game, trying to fill the right spots with the right guys. But they must have confidence with what they're going to be pulling in on this defensive line, whether it's with Jared Verse, Tyree West, Jeffrey Mba, or Walter Nolen. This staff, I think, has a good grasp on what they need. But even when you look at the VAWLS depth chart, when you look at the defensive line and some of the guys that are coming back, man, I am excited about some of the talent on this defensive line. Obviously, Byron Young. A lot of rumors and speculation that Tyler Barron was going to be transferring because of his father stepping down. But as of today, they kicked off bowl practice. Tyler Barron was at practice. I think that says a lot about this coaching staff, about this team, about the chemistry and the atmosphere that they've created. We have yet to see anybody enter the portal after this regular season wrapped up. I think that speaks volumes for what this coaching staff is building. I'm excited about the future for DeJoun Terry, a kid that really started to come on late in the year. Big O started making some plays down the stretch. I'm excited about this team, about this defense, obviously all the offensive weapons that they're adding in the class of 22. But as far as Walter Nolen, if you told me I had to make a decision today, do I think Walter Nolen is coming to Tennessee? I would say no, Absolutely not. He has seemed, once he made that commitment to Texas A&M, he seems to be all Aggie. And yes, he continues the relationship, the communication with Tennessee. That's a good thing. But I just think, the fact that he is on his way to visit them again this weekend, they are going to get the last conversation. They are going to get the last visit. I think things just trend towards Texas A&M. But again, never say never with Rodney Garner in the mix. Hit that comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Tennessee has a chance? Or do you think Walter Nolen is heading to get that bag of cash at Texas A&M? If you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Also, go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Any and all support greatly appreciated. Go buy yourself a Christmas present. A Talkin VAWLS hoodie would be great, but that's going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
That's all.